trouble. Here is all over, just like that.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome back to Wednesday Night Storm. Just 5 episodes to go until Cyclone Denver. And we have a major announcement regarding that show coming up later in the episode. But we are going to start tonight with the first in what could very easily be 3 matches between Samoa Joe and Aleister Black. Let's take a look back to last episode. Aleister Black won the gauntlet. Went through 4 of the most dangerous men in this sport to earn a shot at world champion Samoa Joe, and Samoa Joe had this to say.
You've deserved a chance at this belt for a while. The one time you got it, Jay White and his dumbass Blade Runners made sure you couldn't win, but you didn't attack me, you didn't start complaining on Twitter, you sucked it up, and you did your job like a man, and I will always respect that. So I feel responsible to you, to all the fans, to deliver you the best chance possible to win this title. So I will request a best of 3 series. Winner takes the title. Call it my thank you for being one of the only true men in this company.
So Black has been given the privilege of a 2 out of 3 series against the Samoan submission machine. And you have to respect Samoa Joe for putting himself in this type of position. And it truly will, I believe, show us who is the better wrestler out of these 2 world-class competitors. And who would have thought that it would open the show? Black versus the world champion. And you can hear, if anything, the fans are even louder. They are even more passionate about their world champion. They take a lot of pride in Samoa Joe, and we all should here at GAW. Everything that Samoa Joe has meant to this company, everything that he's done as champion, he is everything that you want a champion to be. We've talked about that before, and it continues to be the case. Putting himself on the line in this type of environment, this type of series, with the Dutch Destroyer, one of the most dangerous men on planet Earth. Samoa Joe is a Class 2 himself. And the first of their 2 out of 3 series is next. So, of course, the title is not on the line in this matchup, but we will be observing traditional GAW title match rules. No time limit, and a 10-second countout. As Joe Snapmare goes straight into an arm lock, and Aleister Black is able to fight out. Terrific chain wrestling from these 2 men early on. Joe immediately just trying to grind the air out of Black, and Black turns it straight into a headlock on the ground. These 2 men have been around for a long time, and they know what they're doing, and a beautiful Muay Thai knee from Black. Joe with a leg cross driver. Oh, that one's gonna hurt, and you know that Joe knows what's coming from Black to try to end this match. Makes sense for Joe to try to target the legs as much as possible. And you do wonder, with Black's mixed martial arts background, if Joe will be hesitant to try to put on the coquina clutch at any point. Joe off the rope into an enziguri. Wow, Joe, I mean, for a man who's built like a refrigerator and not an empty one, Joe moves tremendously well. And he has really pushed the pace here against Aleister Black. But time will tell to see if Joe is going to go for the Coquina Clutch, knowing that Black has had so much training to avoid submissions like that. Joe does it better than almost anyone in the world, but there is no match for great submission defense. Just one of the many, many intriguing storylines in this series of matches that we will see. Snap suplex from Joe. Speaking of the series, the second match will come in episode 24. That's 2 episodes from now. If we do need a third match in this series, that will come at Cyclone Denver. Beautiful brain buster from Black after avoiding the Uranagi. And now Black goes for the pin to win the first match. Joe kicks out. These two men have different styles in a lot of respects, but at the same time, they're actually quite similar. Both of these men make very heavy use of striking, both from the arms and from the legs. Joe with the lariat over the top. Joe comes in with one of the most dangerous submissions in GAW, and then Black, of course, is one of the most accomplished submission defenders in GAW. And Black comes in with maybe the most dangerous kick in GAW. Beautiful reverse German from Joe. Joe has been on top so far. Deadlifts Black up into a power bomb. Joe has very much been in control of this match. And now going for the pin, a little lackadaisical, and Black is able to kick out. Joe did not shoot the half on that pin. Gave Black an opportunity out, but now Joe back into the corner and a beautiful elbow enziguri combo. And again, this is a man who weighs almost 300 pounds. Joe plants the Dutch Destroyer with the Uranagi. Now Joe going for the pin to win the first match, and Black kicks out at 2. Joe can't believe the Uranagi didn't get it done. Black still in this match somehow, and going for the DDT, and Joe wisely gets out of it. On top of all of the other things that Black can do so well, he delivers a hell of a DDT. Now Joe targeting the chest and throat area of Black. And of course you can see why. You would think if Joe is setting up for the Coquina Clutch, this is the strategy that he would undertake in order to make that submission more effective against a man who is so adept at defending them. And now Joe with the strike into a German, rolls him over, and I think we are seeing from Joe the classic Chimera Plex, and it ends with the straight jacket German. Joe going for the bridge to pin to win, and Black kicks out. The Chimera Plex, not always something that we see Samoa Joe utilize, especially after he's apparently added this devastating power bomb into his arsenal that he used to beat Jay White. But it's always electric when he brings it out. Black, beautiful reversal out of the corner, and Joe brings up the elbow to do it himself. This is terrific wrestling from both of these men. They know each other quite well. This is not the first company that they've met in. As Joe with Black in the corner, repeated headshots straight into that turnbuckle. Joe drops to a knee, but he will go for the pin anyway after the repeated shots, and Black kicks out. Joe going for a double-handed chop. Both of these men have just given everything in this match. Joe with the massive lariat, and takes a moment to appreciate it. Now the champ rolling Black back into a dragon sleeper. Always a brutal looking submission, but Black able to get out of it. Joe counters the rising knee and now has Black's back and will take him to the ground. Joe has locked in the Coquina Clutch. It is locked in. Black is nowhere near the ropes. Black might be fading fast here as Joe going for the win in the first match of this series. Black is actually able to peel Joe's arms away. After all of that, Joe does go for the coquina clutch, and Black is able to power his way out. But now Joe, just like that, powerbomb stacks him up. It beat Jay White at the bash, and Black kicks out, but Joe rolls it straight into a double leg grab, and Black can't take any more. After an absolute onslaught of offense by the world champion, Aleister Black has been so good. He was so great in that gauntlet match. He truly looked like a world beater. But this just goes to show you what happens when a world beater comes up against the champ. This was the Chimera Plex from Samoa Joe. Maybe not something that Black was game planning for, because we haven't seen Joe pull that out in almost any of his matches so far since he won this belt. Wow, what a war. What a war between these two men. I mentioned how Joe may be reluctant to go for the coquina clutch, and you see Black was actually able to power out of one of the most dangerous submissions in wrestling. But Joe, always the wily competitor, with that power bomb, it put Jay White away at Bash at the Beach. This time, Aleister Black able to withstand, but he could not withstand the double leg Boston Crab. Joe has taken match 1. Episode 24 will see match 2 as Joe can clinch and retain his title. But coming up next is match 2 of the United States title tournament. Well, you had to think Team Kick was going to be represented in this tournament. And out comes Dakota Kai, joined by Tegan Knox, who is in action in the main event of tonight's episode as she takes on Rosita for #1 contendership for the Women's World Championship. But Dakota Kai is very much a factor in the U.S. title tournament, given her recent past wins over Kairi Sane and Charlotte Flair. So these two women, well, they could own all the gold in general admission wrestling once Cyclone Denver is done. But who will Kai have to go through first in her pursuit of the title? And that woman is a woman that Dakota Kai has already beaten, but someone who maybe has a new resolve given what's on the line here as the Queen, Charlotte Flair, enters the ring. The Queen has had so much success around the world and is, of course, the most successful female wrestler in the history of the WWE. But she has not had the same success here in GAW. Well, this would be quite a place to start for Charlotte Flair. Getting a win here and advancing the U.S. title tournament. The winner will go on to face Lita, who of course will take a look back last episode as Lita shockingly made her return to the ring and delivered her classic DDT to beat Kairi Sane and advance in the tournament that she announced back at After Party. So who will move on to face the living legend? Let's find out. So a 10-minute time limit here, and if you don't remember from last episode, should the wrestlers go the distance and go to a time limit draw, then both of them would be eliminated. So it's just more incentive for these wrestlers to give it their all and win a match. And Kai with that massive knee. Remember, Kai already beat Charlotte Flair. This was back in episode 19, the same episode that saw Tegan Knox shockingly pin Asuka. But Flair looking for retribution when the stakes are even a little higher. Kai kicks out. So Kai's been doing really well as of late. Of course, Tegan Nox has been doing really well as of late. Everything is looking up for Team Kick right now, but every day is a new day. Every match is a new match. Charlotte Flair knows that better than anybody. She is still chasing down the gold that she has never won here in general admission wrestling. It's unfortunate for Flair as Kai winds up from the corner into a big boot and Flair out of the way. And now Flair into a sit-out neck breaker. Going for the pin to advance in the tournament too, and Kai kicks out. So it's unfortunate timing for Flair because she debuted in general admission wrestling around the same time that Asuka came here to GAW. So Flair, as great as she is, well, she can't quite compete with one of the greatest female wrestlers in the history of this company. Kai now slowing things down. Interesting strategy from half of Team Kick. You would think that it would be Charlotte Flair who'd be trying to grind this match down and restrict Kai's ability to use her athleticism, but instead it's Dakota Kai kind of turning the tables here. Kai off the rope into a boot. A massive running boot delivered to a seated Charlotte Flair, and now Kai goes for the pin to advance in the tournament, and Flair kicks out. Wow. That takes more than toughness to be able to kick out of a boot like that. Kai trying to lay in the kick, maybe looking for a chiropractor, and Flair with the dragon screw leg whip sends Kai underneath the bottom rope. For as athletic as Kai is, she does possess a terrific amount of strength for her size. But I don't know if even that will compete with the Queen. Pound for pound, maybe the strongest woman in GAW, maybe aside from Bianca Belair. Kai has really controlled the tempo of this match so far. It's been to Kai's advantage, and now hot shots Flair off the top rope, and Kai with a beautiful Hurricane Rana. Letting the fans know it. Everybody loves Dakota Kai. Everybody loves Team Kick. And with good reason, Kai with a trio of big lariats sends Flair straight into the corner. Kai has really looked great so far, although a miscalculation on that drop kick. Flair able to step out of the way. And now Flair has her turn in the corner, hoisting Kai up to the top rope. Flair going to meet Kai up there in a dangerous position, and Flair with the superplex. Just like that, Flair can take control of any match. With her strength and athleticism, going for the spear, Kai gets the knee up. And Flair once again on top, spear again, and once again Kai gets the knee up and turns it straight into a chiropractor. Dakota Kai, has she beat Charlotte Flair for a second time? Flair kicks out. The chiropractor was enough to get it done against Charlotte Flair a couple episodes ago. Not enough tonight. And now Kai rolls Flair back into a single leg grab. Kai sat deep on that, but it's very hard to submit a master of submission like Charlotte Flair, and Kai cannot do it. Coming up on 4.5 minutes, so you wonder if these women are starting to look at the clock. That can certainly play a factor, and it can cause some bad decisions. And with Charlotte Flair holding the experience advantage, you wonder if that wouldn't be an advantage for the Queen. But now Kai with a beautiful combination plants Charlotte Flair ringside. and going for another kick, and Charlotte Flair able to catch the leg. But Flair clearly rattled after that combination. Kai, beautiful snap suplex, going for the pin to advance. 2, and Flair kicks out. But you can see how much Kai has taken out of Flair in the course of this match. Kai again looking for chiropractor, and Flair able to catch the boot, rolls it into a single leg grab, but Kai very wisely hooked the rope as Flair came over the top, but Flair too fast with the spear. And now Charlotte Flair has a chance to end the match here, and Kai catches her leg this time into a knee, follows it up with the kick. Dakota Kai has just been one step ahead of Charlotte Flair for the duration of this match, and now Kai, much like world champion Samoa Joe, driving her opponent's head straight into the turnbuckle. Under 3 minutes left to go in this match. I don't see any panic in the face of Dakota Kai quite yet, and now a couple face wash boots straight into the corner, and Kai once again, I think, setting up for what she thought was going to end this match, but Flair again catches the boot to turn into a chiropractor, rolls into a single leg grab, and look there again, Dakota Kai has grabbed the bottom rope. Terrific ring awareness from Dakota Kai. And now a sit-out jawbreaker. Very innovative from one half of Team Kick. We are getting awfully deep into this match. Tegan Knox cheering on Kai. 2 minutes to go. Remember, a draw is the worst thing for both of these women. And Flair out of the corner with a massive spear. She delivers it almost better than any woman in GAW, and now, after the spear, Flair looking to pin, and Kai kicks out. Flair thought the spear had gotten it done. 1:30 remaining in this match. Flair has already kicked out of a chiropractor. That could have ended this match about 4 minutes ago, but now Flair gets the boot up, setting up for natural selection. Is that it for Dakota Kai? Flair drags her back into the middle. Flair pins to advance. 2, 3. Charlotte Flair, with just over a minute remaining, pins Dakota Kai and advances in the U.S. title tournament. Dakota Kai gave Flair everything in this match, but when experience was needed, Charlotte Flair stepped up. These two are about as evenly matched as competitors get. They now each hold a win over each other, so you wonder if maybe we'll get to see a grudge match later on, but I don't think Flair's worried about that. Right now, Charlotte Flair needs to be focused on a bona fide legend, as she will be facing Lita in the second round of this tournament. Up next, Bobby Lashley is in action. So the hitman of one of the most successful UFC competitors of all time comes to the ring. Bobby Lashley, and you can see Conor McGregor has dubbed this little team the Mob. Seems like a fitting name given how they've established themselves so far. Speaking of which, Conor McGregor was involved in the main event last week, attacking Jay White in White's match with Aleister Black at the end of that 4-man or 5-man gauntlet. And Jay White had this to say in a tweet, quote, "You think you're a big man attacking me, Conor? I want to crack your skull at Cyclone." Well, straight to the point is the switchblade. And no response from Conor McGregor as of yet, but the man who will be tasked with facing Bobby Lashley in this match is none other than Jeff Hardy. Now, Jeff Hardy's been poking around GAW for the better part of a couple months, ever since he and his brother Matt returned to form the Hardy Boys. Now Matt certainly has gone in a different direction. Matt Hardy is the current Intercontinental Champion and seems to have aligned himself with Ricochet and and this masked, I don't even know if masked is the right word, this unknown person named Alpha. So you wonder what kind of headspace Jeff Hardy is in with his brother going through what he's going through, but Jeff can't worry about that right now. He has a dangerous man in front of him as he takes on Bobby Lashley in our next match. Lashley trying to start out fast and eats the forearm from Jeff Hardy. You can see once again McGregor has lost that, well, frankly, a very classy three-piece suit that he came out with and has donned his fighting gear. So McGregor preparing for a fight, however that fight may come. But so far, Jeff Hardy bringing the fight to Bobby Lashley. These are two men that are journeymen for two very different reasons, of course. Hardy going for the pin, and Lashley kicks out. So these are two men coming into this match with very different motives. And in fact, you don't really know what Lashley and McGregor's motive is. If I'm being honest with you, I have no idea what they hope to accomplish from doing what they're doing, forming apparently what's called the Mob. I just don't know. Either way, only time will tell with these two, and maybe McGregor has a date with Jay White. Now, it's certainly clear that McGregor is not unwilling to mix it up in the ring. So maybe we will see the professional wrestling debut of the champ Conor McGregor, but Bobby Lashley with a single-handed spine buster, just showing you the absolute power of Bobby Lashley. And now, again, the Almighty just showcasing you what he can do. Stalling vertical suplex, he does it better than anyone in the business. Now Lashley in the corner setting up for a massive spear, and Jeff Hardy able to catapult. Hardy avoids the spear once, but now can he avoid submitting to this Boston Crab? Look at the arc in Jeff Hardy's back. Somehow able to power out of that. I think if anything, Lashley was leaning a little bit too far back, lost his balance. Either way, Jeff Hardy still in trouble with a man of this power. Lashley hoists him up for the power bomb, and Jeff Hardy able to get out of it. And that was absolutely crucial. Lashley thrown to the outside, and here comes Jeff Hardy with a beautiful baseball slide straight through the ropes. Lashley now is absolutely getting beaten to a pulp by Jeff Hardy on the, all right, well, that's the end of that. You can only hold the advantage over Bobby Lashley for so long. Jeff Hardy found that out the hard way. But now, nice arm drag. Hardy really is making this a match here. Now going for the pin to beat the Almighty. 2, and Lashley kicks out. Beautiful bit of offense there from Jeff Hardy, and Lashley almost was not able to answer the referee's count. But Lashley, once again, has Jeff Hardy up. McGregor loving it in the corner. Stalling vertical suplex. All of the blood rushing straight to Hardy's head, and he crashes to the mat in brutal fashion. Lashley just admiring his handiwork now, as Lashley makes his way back into the corner, looking for, I believe, a spear, and once again, Hardy is able to leapfrog it. And now Hardy, wow, looked like he was gonna go for a powerbomb, instead tosses Lashley straight into that top turnbuckle. Lashley, though, showing no effects. I mean, it feels like you could hit this man with a cinder block and he wouldn't do anything about it. And now, the absolute strength of Lashley with a running power slam. Straight hooks the leg, and Hardy kicks out at 2. Not every day you see a man kicking out of a power slam like that. And now Hardy plants Lashley with a beautiful STO. And Hardy going to the top rope. We all know what's coming from the legend. He's done this across the world. Swanton, nobody home. Lashley knew what was coming, and you could see McGregor yelling for him on the other side. And now Lashley trying to take advantage of Hardy, and he does. Hardy, the Swanton, misses, and Lashley adds to the pain with a massive clubbing fist to the back. And that was all that was needed from the Almighty. So Lashley, a man who was known for his incredible power and strength, that time, well, that was a thinking man's finish to that match. Lashley knew what he needed to do. As you can see, Hardy here going for the Swanton and takes it all on his lower back. And Lashley, with the clubbing fist, is able to put the legend away. And here comes Ricochet. Ricochet is out trying to attack Lashley. McGregor into the ring, maybe to protect his hitman, as Ricochet, he eats the lariat from McGregor. McGregor was right there on the spot to protect Lashley, but you wonder what Ricochet's motive was for this. Hits McGregor with the flatliner, now going up top, but Lashley has made his way back in. It's 2-on-1 odds, as Lashley now looking to take Ricochet from the top for a ride. Superplex from Lashley and McGregor. This has not gone so well for Ricochet, but you wonder what maybe his motive was here, as McGregor with the lariat from behind. And now Ricochet will be on the wrong end of a classic stalling vertical suplex. So I really don't know what Ricochet's motive was in doing this. He knew he was going to be outnumbered, and yet he comes out to attack Bobby Lashley anyway. Lashley gloating over the motionless body of Ricochet with McGregor in tow. That certainly did not work out very well for Ricochet. Up next, though, is our main event, as Tegan Nox takes on Rosita for #1 contendership. But first, we have an announcement, a big one, regarding Cyclone Denver. We at GAW are proud to be able to give the deepest roster in the world even more opportunities to prove their quality. For the first time in company history, at Cyclone Denver, 6 of GAW's finest will do battle with the GAW Challenger briefcase suspended above the ring. The man who pulls down the briefcase will earn himself an opportunity at any time to win the GAW World Championship. Well, it's time for our main event. And we are about to see the other half of Team Kick. Dakota Kai in surprisingly good spirits after a brutal match with Charlotte Flair, which Dakota Kai could not prevail, so Charlotte Flair moved on earlier in the US title tournament. But Kai and her teammate Tegan Nox still have hope in this women's division, and it is a big hope, as Nox has an opportunity to go on to Cyclone Denver to face the women's champion Asuka, a woman that Tegan Nox has pinned. And the woman she will be taking on is the woman who cost her match with the women's champion back at After Party, and it is Rosita. Rosita has had a very, very interesting run here in GAW. She has challenged Asuka for the Women's World Championship before and came up short. In fact, it was the shortest title defense in history at that point, at least for the Women's World Championship, as it took Asuka just 1 minute and 15 seconds to beat her. with the Asuka lock. Of course, Asuka would go on to then break her own record by beating Bianca Belair in 13 seconds at Nitro 9. Either way, Rosita has an opportunity to return to the fold and challenge her old foe once again. But to do that, she will have to beat the white-hot Tegan Nox. Nox looking confident here, 10-minute time limit for this match, and immediately Rosita tries to start off strong, and Nox is all over her from the beginning. Tegan Nox has looked so good since she returned to full-time competition from knee surgery, and now going up top for the double stomp. Rosita out of the way, but Nox rolls straight to her feet. What a performance here from Tegan Nox of Team Kick. Rosita finally able to get some sort of advantage with the arm trap suplex, or arm trap slam, I should say. And now snap German, and Nox out immediately. You can hear the fans' disdain for Rosita as she goes for a small package roll deadlift powerbomb. Wow. And springboard moonsault connects. The pace from Rosita is actually incredible right now. No doubt she knows what's at stake, and she knows what she needs to do to beat Tegan Nox. This is quite a match. And we already know that the winner will go on to Cyclone Denver to face Women's Champion Asuka, Canadian Destroyer from Tegan Nox. So we already know that the winner will move on to Cyclone to face Asuka. We know also at Cyclone that we will see the conclusion of the U.S. title tournament and whoever that may feature. And now we know that we will see the first ever ladder match for the Challenger briefcase. And the winner will be entitled to a GAW World Championship opportunity and a beautiful sliding. I think that was a sliding STO from Nox, and now a choke slam onto Rosita. Referee is stunned by that. As Nox, they call her Lady Kane, and you're seeing why. Rosita kicks out of the choke slam. So we can confirm regarding the Challenger briefcase, we will see the first of what will be 6 qualifier matches to fight for that briefcase next episode. And we won't reveal to you yet who is fighting. But given the stakes, I think it's pretty safe to assume that we will see some of GAW's best. And we will see them at their best. Nox goes for the super kick and misses. And you can hear the fans just letting Rosita have it. Rosita is exceptionally unpopular in GAW because of her heated rivalry with Asuka, who is such a fan favorite around here. Nox out of the corner, super kick from Rosita, misses. Dangerous one, and Nox turns it into a rolling cutter. Beautiful transition from Tegan Nox, and now tries to lay in the boot, maybe for the shiniest wizard. Rosita out of it. Now Nox catches the boot from Rosita and rolls it into a single leg crab, much like we saw Dakota Kai do earlier with Charlotte Flair. It didn't work then, and it doesn't work now. Rosita, of course, much smaller than Charlotte Flair. Rosita has held her own so far, but it does seem like this is the Tegan Nox show. Nox has seemed to have the advantage for most of the time. Now looking to press that advantage straight into the corner. Rosita out of the way, using her agility and a beautiful standing drop kick. Rosita, one of the most athletic women in GAW, and the super kick lands. Nox hits the deck, and Rosita is going to press her advantage immediately. Rosita's been terrific so far, and now standing Hurricane Rana. Beautiful move from Rosita. Again showcasing the athleticism, now going for the pin to put away Tegan Nox, and Nox is able to get the shoulder up. The athleticism from Rosita to standing jump to get that Hurricane Rana. That was terrific. And Rosita, now she may be trying for it again. Slide, and Nox turns around into a super kick. Oh, wow. Nox goes for the pin off of that, and she gets it. Rosita tries to go again for that baseball slide into the Hurricane Rana, and Tegan Nox was all over it. Plants the super kick directly into Rosita's head. And I think Rosita was seeing nothing but stars. What a move from Tegan Nox. What an impact she's made since she returned. And Tegan Nox is headed to Cyclone, Denver to face Asuka, a woman she has already beaten for the GAW Women's World Championship. Here is the first Hurricane Rana from Rosita that almost spelled doom for Tegan Nox in this match. Again, the athleticism of Rosita is truly incredible. The Hurricane Rana almost got the job done for the former World Championship challenger, but she goes again, and Nox was having none of it. Super kick puts Rosita to sleep, and Tegan Nox is headed to Denver. Folks, thank you so much for joining us once again for Wednesday Night Storm. We'll see you next episode as the qualifier matches for the Challenger briefcase match at Cyclone begin, as well as the conclusion of the first round of the U.S. title tournament. So much to enjoy next week on Wednesday Night Storm. Subscribe so you can see it. We'll see you next time.